We are in game 1 of the Zayu Cup between DVR and KSK. I have no idea what either of these team names actually mean, and I'm not going to pretend to know what they mean, okay? And also, we're not even going to make up IDs for what these two team names mean, because, we're just not going to be disrespectful, okay? So I honestly do not know a thing about almost any of these players except for Inspired, Kuban, Overpow, and Lewis. And the only reason that I know Lewis is because he's always in my stream chat, and occasionally he will say something mean to Guy in chat. So Lewis, a bit of a hero. B1 Scion. All right, so this is also being played on... Do we have confirmation this is 1310? Joe? Okay. So this is 1310. So this is the first tournament, I think, that we are commentating on 1310. So this is actually going to be a glimpse of maybe what is to come in summer, which is going to be starting next week. LCS is going to be starting on June 1st. LCK going to be kicking off on June 7th. We should be there live at LOL Park. They're going to open with B1 Scion. This should be a flex on top and mid lane, as Milio now R1. Milio, a little bit surprising. The bans are Kog'Maw, Aphelios, and Zeri on blue side, with Annie and Senna. Now, Senna being banned away does make it a little bit good for Milio. There's the Lucian. Now, you guys know I played like literally 250 games of Milio or something. I said that I thought very confidently Lucian Milio is probably the strongest bottom lane in the game. It's the most oppressive bottom lane combo in the entire game in the early laning phase. It is very, very difficult to actually beat. But Milio does lose to Enchanters. Now, Blitzcrank is another champion that actually can tango against him. So let's actually see what the marksmen are going to be. Now, I imagine that they're going to remove kill threat AD carries. So I'm expecting now to see something along the lines of like Draven get banned away in bottom lane. That would be something that I would expect. Now, I don't think that like Ezreal needs to get banned away. Other popular AD carries like on the patch, I don't think need to really be targeted at this point, because I just don't think that they pair necessarily very well with Jinx. So I think like Draven is just going to end up getting targeted here by the red team. I would be very surprised, actually, if Draven doesn't actually get banned, as Wukong is going to actually be locked in. And there's the Kha'Zix matchup as well. So this is also setting up for a really big mage that needs to be picked on the blue side. Malphite actually gets banned away. The Malphite is very surprising. I really don't understand the Malphite. Yes, it does deal magic damage. The thing is that on this patch, especially with Milio and the way that Milio's kit works, you were setting up... Wukong comes with the armor pen. He has the massive armor shred in his kit. But in addition to that, with Milio and you have Lucian, you can go... Because the enemy team is all melees, you can go Ardent Sensor first item because of the reduction in cost. And then with Lucian and the way that he itemizes, you can just deal so much magic damage as Lucian. I do not actually think that Malphite was necessary to actually ban away here. I think this was actually a blunder ban. But at this point, Ahri now getting banned away. I think Ahri is a pretty interesting ban, to say the least. But I guess it is an evasion champion for the Kha'Zix as well as the Blitzcrank. We'll see what else gets tagged here. Seraphine now also getting banned away. And now the Seraphine is probably not for being with the Blitzcrank. That would be a very bizarre combo. I can't actually see that like being a bot lane combination. The Gnar now getting targeted. So I feel like at this point, unless like Arquel just doesn't play Draven, I feel like this is just setting up for Draven. Gwen now being hovered, and we'll see if the Gwen actually does get locked in. Now, you could go Gwen and you could just flex her in mid and top lane. That would definitely be an option. I mean, another thing that you could do here is you could just go Cassante, and that would be another option that you can do. But instead, they're actually going to go for the Kennen. Now, the Kennen is pretty interesting because it removes Blitzcrank's ability to go for Ignite in bottom lane, because Blitzcrank now is going to want to go Exhaust for the Kennen, which is going to limit some of his power against the Milio and the Lucian. And now if the Milio and the Lucian do go for double combat summoner, it makes the bottom lane a little bit more scary. Oh, this might be Karthus ADC as Nautilus is coming in. Okay. Ooh. Karthus. What a Flexorino. And he has, okay, so he has Exhaust right now hovered as well. And so Karthus would be actually a marksman that would be able to take Exhaust. Corki coming in as well at the 11th hour. All right. Now, that's another champion that can be very disengaging. So, okay, this is a very bizarre pivot at the very end. The Corki, a little bit of a poke type champion here. The thing is that this still falls pretty weak to, like, Lucian just poking. And so I think at this point on R5, as long as they just pivot away to something that sort of responds to the Corki, I think everything's fine. Now, the Syndra, I think, is actually a pretty abysmal pick. Now, the reason that I think the Syndra is an abysmal pick is because it's actually theme answered by the Corki, which doesn't make any sense. So Syndra beats Corki in the laning phase, yes. And in the mid game, it's also still stronger than the Corki. So basically what the red team is threatening to do right now is they're threatening to really overpower the early and mid game with the Lucian Milio and with the Syndra. They should really dominate the early mid game and get all of the early dragons, and that's what they're really gunning for. They're basically saying, like, we have Lucian Milio, we have arguably the strongest early bot lane in the entire game. They're going cleanse, they're going heal on bot lane, and they have the Syndra there against the Corki. Now, the thing is that Corki, when he reaches the later stages of the game, when he has those rockets, there's no interaction on Red Team's kit against Corki. There's no way to play against him. And when you think about Corki, he doesn't incentivize magic resistance, right? So, Syndra, Kennen, Lucian, Milio, Wukong, these champions are not going to build magic resistance. Maybe Wukong will get a Hex Drinker or even a Malmortius if the game goes long enough. But realistically, what's going to happen is Karthus will preemptively Requiem before fights actually transpire, and Corki will poke with rockets before fights take place. And at this point, Syndra is theme answered because she can't actually contend with Corki's range. And at that point, the meat shield that is Scion and then Kha'Zix's lethals and Kha'Zix also as a W bot plus Blitzcrank fishing for hooks okay, thank you, Riot Games. League of Legends client has encountered an error. Everything's going fine, guys. Everything is A-okay. Everything's everything's A-okay. Everything's fine, I think. I love League of Legends, man. I can't imagine them beating Lucian Milio. But maybe I just haven't seen enough Karthus against Lucian Milio. But I think a coordinated Lucian Milio, it should be impossible. I think that a Lucian with Vigilance passive is just way too strong in coordinated play. And I think it's just going to be way too oppressive. Now, in terms of, like, itemization this game, I think that Milio... So this is 13-10, which is a little bit unfortunate, because this otherwise this would have been a Moonstone game. This would have easily been a Moonstone Milio game because of the Karthus and the Corki. And because of the Syndra and the Kennen and the Lucian... Moonstone into Staff of Flowing Water would have been insane because Lucian also has AP ratios, right? So that would have been really good.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Instead, a little rougherino here. All right, so we are in the game, and we can see the runes here. We have First Strike on Kha'Zix, Grasp of the Undying on Scion versus Kennen. I think that is a horrible choice. I don't know what Kuban is doing there. I really think that he actually should have just either taken Comet for the laning phase or he should have just taken Spellbook. We have Cull on Corki, as well as First Strike. So I guess the First Strike is mostly just there to scale. And then we have Dark Harvest on Karthus, as well as Exhaust, Aftershock on Blitzcrank, and then on the bottom side, yes, Milio has heal. Now, one of the things I will say is he is taking Spell Thieves, and I'm not sure about Spell Thieves in this matchup. I don't think he can proc it as much as he would actually like to in this matchup. I would imagine that Relic Shield would actually just be a lot more consistent of a starting item in this particular matchup. But Longsword 3 red potions for Lucian. And, okay, so first hook ends up missing, and really good. Milio just going to move in. There's the E. All right, just getting the 60 gold. And I guess when they do this, yeah, everything's going to be fine. Really good spacing. There's another E. Nice W there by Lucian. And Lucian going for the first strike. So one of the surprising things as well, Lucian going for the first strike instead of press the attack here with Milio and just going really for that all-in early game power is one of the surprising things. Kha'Zix now pathing down. Wukong also pathing down. So both teams are playing for their bottom lane. Kennen looks like he's just shoving in top lane right now, and that is just going to be fine. Very early ward. So we'll see what is going to end up going on here. Also, I'm not actually sure if this is a best of 1, best of 3. I'm not sure if it's like round robin. It's 4 teams, so it might just be round robin. Or like Swiss or something like that. I'm not entirely certain on what goes on. But okay. So, okay, Lucian and Milio, they end up crashing in. Kennen, ooh. Just the very edge of that. Does have the call, doing pretty okay in the CS score right now. All is doing pretty fine. I mean, he ended up missing 5, not the end of the world. Sion trying to do his best to get whatever he possibly can up here. And Wukong, interestingly, Wukong actually doing a 4 camp clear. He's not actually gonna be doing 5 camp or anything like that. Kha'Zix, meanwhile, inspired. Take a look at this. 335 full clear for the Kha'Zix. Really, really, really fast. Very well done by Inspired. Also, Blue Smite on Inspired, as he's going to go for the reset now. And he knows that he can just do this. He knows all of his lanes underneath their turret. He doesn't have any obligation to really gank. All of his lanes just really, really, really scaling. And one of the things that's very good here is because of the way that Lucian and Milio are playing this, the Karthus and the Blitzcrank, they're actually getting into a really good position. Now, I think that Wukong actually made a little bit of a blunder. On this bounce back, Wukong should have been in a position to pressure gank and just zone the Karthus and the Blitzcrank off the wave. Okay, this is actually a little bit of a... I mean, they should actually take a more aggressive trade. I guess they're afraid of Inspired here. The Q... Okay, I'm not actually sure why they're unlocking the wave. This is also really bizarre. Wukong's coming down. They're unlocking the wave, but Karthus has no HP and no mana. This is really bizarre. Lucian has Cookie? I'm not okay, they're gonna crash. Okay, they're gonna crash. I'm pretty sure that was a situation in which they could have obtained a freeze and they could have gotten a reset off. Now, he has Noon Quiver, but you can also see that he had excess gold because he was able to get a control ward. So I don't think that, like, I do not think that pushing was, like, imperative, because he could have gone probably without 4 or 5 CS, without needing the reset, right? Because he doesn't need the spellcasters in order to... He doesn't need the spellcasters for the gold, evident by the control ward purchase. So that one is a little bit surprising. So Karthus is in a little bit of a better situation now in terms of lane state. A little surprising right there. So Karthus going to be able to breathe a little bit. Teleport now coming back into mid lane. There's the lost chapter, but Corki is in a really good spot. Syndra is oddly behind right now in mid lane. And this is all really good news, actually, for Inspired's team. And the problem right now with what the red team's really doing is none of them are really lining their waves up for where Wukong is. None of them are really doing any sort of lane manipulation relative to where their jungler is. And this is definitely a bit of a problem. Right now, I suppose... I mean, now Wukong also opens with Sheen as first item. He's pinging that he wants the dragon, so Syndra's going to shove in the wave. Okay. So now they're starting the Drake. All right, he's going to start the Ocean Dragon. Karthus. Getting all the CS down and bottom. Okay. W out by... All right, but W out there by Lucian. All right. Ultimate used by Sion. And there's the Slicing Maelstrom by Kennen. Inspired coming in, though. And even if this is a 1-for-1, it's just not worth for the Kennen. As Inspired actually gonna just be there. He gets the first blood. This is very, very bad for Team KSK. They can't even manage to achieve anything on the bot side. And now, I mean, Lucian, Milio, they're now going to shove the wave into the Karthus and the Blitzcrank. Okay, Dragon's going to go down. That's going to alert everyone of where Wukong is. 400 gold lead right now for Inspired's team. First blood on the Kazakhs as well. They're underneath the turret, but the problem with this is it's a Karthus, right? And he has exhaust. It's very difficult to dive. They're just getting all of the CS. Now, Lucian, he does have a CS lead on the Karthus, which, I mean, that is good. The real problem is somehow in the mid lane, the Corki, I'm not really sure how this is happening. The Corki is beating the Syndra quite a bit in CS. I don't know how this is happening. I really don't understand what's going on here. And he also has the call. This is really confusing. But obviously, yeah, we are paying a little bit. Ooh, very, very close. Almost managing to get the lethal there onto the Karthus. He doesn't quite have 6 yet. Now, Lewis here, this is very surprising where Lewis, it's bizarre that he's even attempting to trade with Corki on this wave, because you can tell at this point that Corki's not actually interested in trading with the Syndra because his mana is too low at this point and his cull is too near completion. So trading with Syndra, trading HP bars, this is not in either player's interest, right? Especially not Syndra. So Syndra should never actually trade HP with Corki because she's never going to look for find lethal. All Syndra should do is ignore Corki and endlessly shove the wave in and attack Corki's mana pool to try to induce a faster recall. Because Corki is running out of fuel. Yes, he has 2 cookies in his inventory. You want to make him pop them, or you want to keep him under turret just like this so that you at least provide that amount of vision, because Syndra's not in danger. And if she can do this, if she can pick up a minion right now, W, throw it onto the back wave, Q, E, etc. Corki has to Prosperous Bomb again. His mana pool gets deleted again, etc. He's underneath the turret. Kind of like this, right? This is all that Lewis should be doing. And you keep Corki under, and you also attack his HP this way if he doesn't want to let the wave go underneath the turret. And this is just a lot better for control than just having... Whoa, 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 what's going on there? Whoa. Corki up 400 gold right now over the Syndra, about to have that call complete. Should just shove the wave, probably get the reset off. They do have that first dragon. Now remember, we talked about earlier on in the draft that the red team really dependent on getting those dragons and stacking them. Yumu's Ghostblade is complete for the Kazakhs. Very, very, very strong right now. And take a look at the amount of the CS differential between the Kazakhs and the Wukong. Absolutely massive. Okay. Oh, Scion tanking the turret now. Oh, nice slicing Maelstrom. Ooh. Oh! Wait. What? Wait, what? Huh? Wait, what? What? Wait. It's a disaster! Wait. What? Guys? Wait. What is... Wait, what? Ace! Like, wait. Alright, oh, Corki. Oh! Ooh! Okay. Wow. Alright, so almost actually an ace. If the cannon had just ended up dying. So really, really, really close. At the end of the day, it's going to be a 1,000 gold lead for Team OVR. And Mountain Dragon coming up in just a minute. Corki, the game has been paused. I'd pause too after that one. I'd feel a little bit bad. Karthus making his way towards the Leandries. Things are not looking so great right now. Now, that was obviously a very big double kill for the Kennen up in top lane. They definitely messed that up, the Scion and the Kazakhs. We shall see what is going to end up being the recovery. Now, off the reset here, one of the things I really do like is that Emilio is just powering his support. He is just powering Shirelia's. You guys can also see the dynamic of this lane. I talked about it, right? You can see how Blitzcrank has his Relic Shield, but Milio doesn't have Spell Thieves. This is the dynamic of this matchup, and that this is not a lane where Milio can actually endlessly proc his Spell Thieves. And so because of this, this was a Relic Shield lane for Milio, so that he can actually just farm gold, on time and get his item pretty good. But also, I mean, I think even just the HP is valuable. I do not think it's imperative to have the mana regen or the AP differential. I don't think that it's that important. So you can see the difference there in that regard. So Blitzcrank actually in a pretty good position. Milio definitely going to go Shurelya's in this game. Lucian now with the Stormrazor, so he has the mixed damage. Corki with Trinity Force. Okay, so Trinity Force was buffed, but I don't think this is it. I don't think. So the thing that we were talking about in draft about Corki is that his rockets are very valuable in the later stages, and the opponents can't really get magic resistance in this game because Corki doesn't incentivize MR, right? Like, you think about magic resistances like Syndra, right? What can you actually get? Banshee's Veil? You're not going to get Banshees when Corki can just pop it with Rocket. Ooh, nice bait attempt. Wukong is here. Herald is going to be summoned as it looks like Blitzcrank is actually just... Okay, well, he hooks. And there's just no way to actually go in. Syndra is also here. And this Herald summon just not going to be it. As now... KSK, they're going to be the ones in position to get the Mountain Dragon. Corki is trying to shove in mid lane. He's looking to try to get some plates. Has Inspired, looking for maybe an assassination attempt onto the Syndra. I just don't think he has the damage to do this, as Karthus is going to die underneath the turret. He will pick up the minion wave. That is one of the things that Karthus is good at, as Lucian picks up another kill, and he's getting further ahead. Gold score is still even, but the problem is... the Mountain Dragon is very valuable. This really does hurt the Kha'Zix. It hurts the Karthus significantly. I mean, it hurts everyone, right? Think about the Yumus and how much pain this actually inflicts onto it. The lethality just gets really gutted by this. It's almost like you're losing the passive. As Joe doing some great... All right, here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Time shift. Zillion, unbind. Left, right. Up, down, B. Down, down, down. Left, right. Up, up, up. C. Show health bars. Unbind. B. Unbind. We're doing great. All right, we're back, and 1,000 gold lead still. The Corki, now he has 3 kills, but he's going Trinity Force Mirror Mana, and I just feel like this is such a blunder. You don't want to be melee range as Corki against this enemy team composition. It's very confusing. The itemization here by Overpow, instead of just going for the traditional poke variation of Corki, he's opted into this auto attack centric build, and it's gonna really make things a lot more difficult, I think, to team fight and just overall carry the game. Nice Blitzcrank hook. He ends up picking up the kill, and honestly, I don't even think it's that bad because Blitzcrank doesn't have his first item yet. So I think getting that little bit of excess gold there, the Karthus ultimate is coming out. It doesn't actually find a kill, and I don't even think it doesn't even find a Dark Harvest stack. So I'm not actually sure why Arquel cast Requiem, other than maybe being mad. Seems, I'm not sure what the Requiem was actually for. As Karthus now, still does not yet have the Liandry's. Overpow, looking to get that bottom tier 1 turret. Looks like he will end up picking it up. He is really big. I mean, Mirror Mana is at 255 as Lucian, Milio, they look to raise this next turret. Top tier 1 is going to go down. Look at the Karthus. They were doing so well in laning phase, but now 70 CS down almost. I mean, after getting this wave, they're only going to be down almost 60, but still. As we zoom in on the Riot flag, absolutely. This is just a Riot difference, Lucian, Milio. Oh, the Mortal Kombat dragon. As Chemtech Drake is the dragon of the game. It's not indeed Mountain. So Chemtech Drake is, honestly, it's probably not even that bad. It's going to make assassinations that much harder for Kha'Zix. And it's also going to significantly hurt Requiem for Karthus. So now Karthus is actually more incentivized to Requiem early. This also hurts Dark Harvest. It actually just outright nerfs Dark Harvest damage, right? Dark Harvest is only available when targets are below a certain HP threshold, right? And so because it's only available below a certain HP threshold, that damage is forever nerfed. The rune is permanently nerfed in damage by the Chemtech Soul. So that is that's an interesting little feature that's going to go on there. Herald is going to end up getting a turret. Corki trying to do his best to do something this game. Blitzcrank Hook is going to end up missing. And KSK, I mean, they're doing what they need to do. The Lucian, the Milio, they are taking over the game. They have the 2 dragons. And even though the gold score is stable, the Karthus is just not relevant in this game. He can't even walk up, actually. My lord! Well, all right, well, Karthus, and again, he Requiems for, I don't know why he's Requieming. I genuinely don't know. It's not like he has First Strike. And even if he did, his First Strike would be on cooldown. And he's not getting Dark Harvest stacks. So I'm really not sure what the Requiem logic is. I don't understand. Looks like Corki now, okay, so Corki, he has 2 souls harvested. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what he's actually doing. They have Locket on Blitz, and I assume that that's just for Kennen. Merc Tread's there on the Wukong. That's the only MR that he's going to end up having. Inspired, going to look for an assassination. I don't even think he has the damage, does he? Honestly, Mountain Drake diff. That might legitimately be Mountain Drake diff. That might... Yeah, I think that might actually... Okay, well, him living is definitely Mountain Drake diff there, to Corki at least. So really, really, really sad. Inspired can't find lethal there on Kennen, and it looks like KSK, they're just going to push to the victory, I think. They get the 3rd dragon of the game. Now, the increased healing and shielding, it doesn't really do a whole bunch. I mean, they do have Milio, which is pretty valuable. Now, one of the things I would like to see is I would like to see Milio actually go Staff of Flowing Water this game. Because you have the Syndra, you have the Lucian, and you have Kennen. So I think it would just be really good. Now, alternatively, he could just go Redemption because Karthus, and because Corki is going auto-attack centric, and because Kha'Zix and Scion are just going to tickle. I think that's pretty reasonable, too. I don't think that that's bad by any means. And then also the increased healing and shielding, right? So I guess in that regard, Redemption could also be a pretty okay argument as well. Okay, Blitzcrank is going to land a hook, but I don't think it matters, man. Karthus is level 10 right now. Doesn't even have rank 2 Requiem. More poke coming out. Inspired on the left-hand side. Stun goes out. Varian. Okay, Shirelli is going to be cast there by Milio. And Milio going to tell them to take notes. Amazing. That's okay. Rapid Fire Cannon, Stormrazor. And this is what I was talking about, where in some games, Milio can go Ardent Sensor first. And so if Lucian does this build with, Rapid Fire Cannon, Stormrazor, and then Milio has Ardent Sensor, Lucian can go Sork Pen Boots because he's dealing so much magic damage. Same with Nami. If it's like Lucian Nami, or Milio Lucian, and you go Stormrazor, Rapid Fire Cannon, you can go Sork Pen Boots on Lucian. And, because you're dealing like 40-50% magic damage. You're actually, you're probably dealing like 50% magic damage at that point. So, Lucian, typically an AD carry that doesn't actually upgrade boots, or if he does, it's like Ionian. But depending on like what your playstyle is in the game, you can definitely get Sork Pen boots. Anyhow, KSK now, it looks like they're just playing a very controlled game. Karthus is just totally out of this game. He has a Ruby Crystal. Blitzcrank, I don't even know what he's actually going to move towards. KSK now, they're going to be the ones starting up the Baron. Corki, he does have teleport available. He picks up rapid fire cannon. Okay, there's, all right. Corki is going to get stunned on impact. And, okay. Inspired, no isolation. And Kuban now, there's Requiem. And it did basically nothing, okay. Kuban now just going to die. 2 minutes until that dragon. Now, at this point, I mean, they could just restart up the Baron. I mean, there's just no... Okay, they get the flash out of Arkwell as well. Arkwell probably feeling like if he dies right now, then Baron is surely going to go down. They could definitely start up the Baron again. Probably, and just repeat the dance. But they're going to play it safe. They're just going to recall. Coming off the reset. Stopwatch there on the Kennen. And, okay, Inspired just going to pick up whatever he can up in top lane. Kennen level 14, Scion level 12. 1 minute, 20 seconds until that last Drake comes up, and it is a soul. And even though the gold is even, the dragons are just really overwhelming, and where the gold is allocated in addition to the builds. Now, if Corki had the poke build, if Corki in these standoffs could land 4 rockets, and all of a sudden, Lucian or Syndra is at, 25%, 30% HP, it's a different game. It's a really, really different game. But because Corki is auto-attack centric, and he's having to go melee range in order to, like, fight, we're getting this, like, really awkward thing where, oh my lord. I mean, okay, well, Arkwell is, he's in the middle of it, let him cook, let him cook. All right. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. All right. Let him cook. Don't let him cook too much, though. Might be food poisoning. It's fine. All right. It's taking the Karthus passive a little bit too serious here. Kennen gonna TP in. A little surprised that it wasn't TP on bottom, as, okay. Odie gonna go over the wall there. Scion tanking as much as he... Oh my lord, there's the Requiem. Doesn't do that much damage, though. And Inspired just can't actually approach this Drake. This is rough. And that is gonna be the Chemtech Soul. So now, realistically, if you're blue team, the only way that you win this game is if you somehow miracle steal the Elder. That's the only way that you're doing this. Wukong goes Black Cleaver as his second item, and I actually feel like that's a pretty big blunder. The reason I feel like this is a blunder is because you have Ken and Syndra, Lucian, who's dealing like a ton of magic damage, and then you have Milio. The Black Cleaver is only giving you haste, and it's only for yourself. I think literally any other item is actually just better. There's no tanks on the enemy team outside of Scion. Any other item is surely better here than Black Cleaver. Shadow Flame on Syndra. It looks like she's powering towards Rabadon's as her next item. Gale Force there on Lucian is the mythic of choice. There's Protein Shake there on Scion. All right. QE ends up missing there. All right, we're getting a little bit of a... Oh, and just can't land the Blitzcrank hook as... Okay, Wukong does go in. There is the heal from the Redemption. Karthus is... Okay, well, I mean, it's just getting melted. So the engage goes in. The Cyclone. Inspired also just going to get completely gutted there. Kennen not even going to go down there. As Lewis gonna land the stun. Kick back there by Milio. And I just feel like this is game over. That is a 6,000 gold lead. They are going to capture the Baron. That's going to pole vault them. This is going to, I mean, they're going to jump to at least a 10,000 gold lead off the back of this Baron power play. There is still the top tier 2 turret left to be captured. There's also no ability to resist a Baron push by the blue side. They have no wave clear inside of their kit. And so, at this point, Kennen now level 16, rank 3R, Scion level 13. Syndra probably also making her way to 16. Almost has that Rabadon's death cap. And we see actually on the minimap, Syndra is farming. Syndra is going to be 16. Karthus is 11, by the way. So, you know, this is a little bit... Okay, actually, Lewis justing 15. Never mind. And, okay, Last Whisper being picked up by Audi. Moves forward. And this should be the final push. There's no reliable wave clear. I mean, Kuban knows that he should just keep shoving bottom. They should just give mid inhibitor. Kuban shouldn't actually come back until they threaten to actually go onto the Nexus. If they threaten to go onto the Nexus, that's when Kuban should come back. So let's wait and see. So Inspired cleared the wave in mid. They can clear out this cannon. Yeah, okay. This is all good. This is all good. This is really well coordinated. So Corki on the minimap, he cleared the top wave. Inspired stopped the mid wave. And Kuban... Okay, this is really good guerrilla warfare. And now they'll pull them through the jungle. Okay, Overpow's going to sacrifice himself. This is all fine. They get a turret. They get a bounty. And now Inspired, all right, he's going to pillage. He's going to pillage the jungle of Varion. And now he's going to go back into mid. He's going to... Okay, here we go. He's pulling the minions again. He's pulling the supers. Okay, he's taking them out in mid lane. Harquell! Oh, my... Harquell. Valiant effort. Valiant effort. Guys, whatever we do, no one tell Arquad to play World of Warcraft hardcore mode. This guy will never leave the starting zone. Oh my lord. You can't even kill Syndra. Oh my lord. Oh! Oh my. It's... What's up? What's that? Oh, okay. What? No, after that. Oh, Bobo! Okay. Alright. So they do end up killing 3 of them. Corki packages down mid lane. Alright, so the problem is that they lose 2 inhibitors, and Elder is coming up in a minute. Syndra has death cap. Lord Danny's regards picked up now on Lucian. Redemption there on Milio. Death cap almost there on Kennen. I'm actually a little bit surprised that Kakos didn't just go Zanya's, given the way the game was going. I think it's surprising because he had that broken stopwatch in the inventory. As... Oh my lord! Oh! Lucian really bringing it in the rear onto Corki. Holy. My lord. Corki thought he had a package. Lucian had a bigger one. My... What? What am I... What? Hello? Alright, okay, I don't even know if they're gonna go for Elder at this point. Okay, well, the wave clear for non-Baron minions is actually there. Let's see if Inspired can actually steal the Elder away. Let's take a look at this. Not going to even go for it, obviously, as we can see on the minimap. All right, so with Elder, I mean, I'm not, okay. Wukong? Clone will get pulled. Bottom push, I mean, they can just dive the turret. They can just flash R with Kennen, I'm pretty sure, and dive the turret. And everything should be fine. Okay, well, OVR are just gonna back up. The Nexus turrets are now gonna be exposed. Okay, 7v5 finally enabled. Triple inhibitor is down. Edge of Night is popped. Oh my god! Alright. Okay, that's gonna be all she wrote. Okay, the Quadra for Lucian. Wait. It's not over? Surely. Okay, surely. Oh my god, Milio is kicking Sion, man. Oh my god, Milio! Alright, they end. Alright, that is it for game number 1. As Milio Lucian just take over the game. And Inspired and Overpow not able to stabilize the game. As bot lane, I mean, they fell behind, and once they fell behind, it just was not able to really be recovered. And honestly, it was weird, because Porky got that massive lead down in bottom, off of that, like, triple kill, and then he was also winning mid really hard over the Syndra, which didn't make any sense. And then, top lane, there was that mishap with the Kennen, right? Where Kennen got the double kill on Inspired and Kuban, and that was really unfortunate as well. But the Wukong team did manage to get the first 2 Drakes, which is exactly what they needed to do. One of the things that was very surprising is that the Karthus team actually held on the early game a lot better than they should have, and I think that this was because of mismanagement of the waves by the Syndra, Lucian, and the Milio relative to the Wukong pathing. And so in that regard, things were, you know, they were going a little bit rough. Okay, I am not sure when the next game starts. Let me check the Discord.